So for the next part, I like to do this with the form still on the inside, although if you need to do it on a separate day, you have to take the form out. So I want to make where I'm going to add this layer inside of here. Now I can make this as many layers as I want. Sometimes people want to do tubes and just make that are shorter, and they want to use the same tube multiple times, and that works totally fine. But I prefer to do it this way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to figure out where I want to cut my tube, and I'm going to make a mark all the way around. So I think I want to do it right there. So I'm going to take this extra piece of paper, and I'm going to make sure that it's really, really folded nice and square. And I'm going to line it up at the edge of my project so that it's flat on the table and it's flat up against here. And then I can use this as a template, and I can rotate this around. And as long as I always make sure it's flat on the table, I can basically make myself a dot to dot that I can trim around when I'm done. So I'm gonna go all the way around. This also works for if you like accidentally made an uneven lip on something, or if if something funky happened and you need to cut something that's all the same height. This trick works for that too, as long as it's got straight sides. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna go and finish marking the line all the way around. Now, if you happen to have a banding wheel, that is a really helpful thing to have for this step, because it makes it really easy to cut and turn at the same time, and you don't have to slide it along the table. So if you have a banding wheel, convenient. So I like to make sure that my line is nice and even first, and then I'll go around, especially if I'm using a banding wheel, I'll go around multiple times until I cut all the way through. So I'm not actually making the opening where I'm going to like have the lid separate from the base. What I'm doing right now is I'm making the spot where I'm gonna add in that extra slab of clay on the inside to make the base of that centerpiece. So I'm gonna finish cutting all the way around. Like I said, you wanna try to make sure you get it as even as you can, and you'll be able to feel when you've cut all the way through, all the way around, because it'll feel the clay, the needle tool touching the clay is gonna feel different than the needle tool touching the newspaper and the plastic. So you'll be able to feel when it's cut all the way around. Okay, so once you have that, then we're gonna need to separate these two pieces and add on that little center circle, okay?